Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about how I didn't make the baseball team twice, sophomore and junior year, okay? So, if you don't want to listen, click off the video. It's up to you. So, I had already made my mind up that I wanted to play baseball since I was very, very young. I would say maybe 6 or 7. And freshman, high school came around, and I decided freshman year, I'm laying low. That was already my mindset. So I didn't really do anything freshman year, didn't try out for anything. So then, that worked to a certain extent, and then sophomore year came around. I'd say it's January-ish, and I go up to my grandfather one day and I'm like, hey, do you mind taking me to the cages so I can work on hitting? And he's like, why haven't you come to me sooner? And I'm like, because I'm trying out for a baseball team this year. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's great. And I'm like, I'll tell you how I do. And he's like, please? And I was like, I will. And so we went to the cages every Saturday until tryouts, which was March 3rd or 4th. And all I can remember is before the tryouts came around, my cousin was playing basketball. And mind you, he played freshman the year before, so he was set to play again. And he was playing basketball in a league he was in, and he went up to go get the ball, and he came down and tore his ACL, MCL, and meniscus. So that gave me a lot more motivation to make the team than just a regular, oh, I want to play baseball, I'm gonna make the team. No, that gave me so much more motivation. Every time I stepped into that batter's box in the cages, I just felt like I had to do it, not just for myself, but because he couldn't play for the next year. Okay? So, tries come around, and I think the first day it rained, so we were in the gym, and I knew a few people there, but I didn't know the team, so I was not being shy, but being a little awkward, I guess. And we the coaches yelled for the varsity players to go out and get the batting cages from the office to set it up. And so they were like, new guys, go help. So I went over, I started helping, and I didn't know exactly what to do, so I just rolled the tarp out with them and put the L cage up, and then I started the tryout, the hidden tryout. And the first few pitches I looked at in trying to get timing down, because when you hit the ball, when you have to hit the ball, it's all about timing. So when ball's coming in, you have to pull a certain way, and if you do pull that certain way, you're gonna hit the ball at the spot where it has to hit the barrel. So that's what I was trying to do every time that pitch came in. And every time that pitch came in, there was something always in the back of my head. I still can't figure it out to this day. So when you guys... No. So then I'd say the next day rolls around, because we did fielding, but it was with soft baseballs, Little League baseballs, which you couldn't really showcase anything, because if you throw it too hard and you miss your target, you're hitting the bleachers, so you're... And so my first year, I tried out for first base. Now mind you, I have never played first in my life, never. So this was a first for me. Didn't have first baseman's mitt or anything, so I used my glove that I had for fielding, and didn't really work out. So that was why I think one of the reasons why I didn't make the team in the first place was because I didn't have the right equipment, and plus I was trash at first, like absolute garbage. So I made the first cut, and I was already proud of myself because I haven't played in about 3 or 4 years. So then you go for like a second tryout, and they tell you what they want to see from you, and if you perform to their expectations, they give you, like, you make the second cut, and then after the second cut they make the team. Sadly, didn't make the team, but I made the cut before the team, which was the second one, which I was already proud of myself for making the first one, because I didn't think I was making any, because I haven't played in like 3 or 4 years, so that was a shock to me. And then my cousin and I, this year, because we're both juniors, wanted to try for a baseball team, and we did. And kind of the same thing as last year, but I knew a few people, like a few more people this year than last year. So, I was going into the tryout thinking to myself, if I don't make it this year, then senior year will be the year I make it regardless. Don't care what anyone says, or don't care at all. I could care less. And so we went outside the very first day. We hit, and we did fielding, which this year I did the same thing as I did last year. Went to the cages every Saturday. Didn't, maybe missed like a day or two, but who cares? And so I went, and this year I was hitting the ball with throughout the whole tryout, I think I missed 4 to 10 pitches. Okay, and that's pretty good considering you're having coaches thrown to you, and you're also having varsity pitchers throw to you at their hardest. So I was hitting off of them, and then it came time for fielding, and I had already made my mind up. I was playing third, or I was trying out for third, and it came to that time where I knew I could make the throw, but because I haven't done it in so long, that I had to strengthen, which I haven't done. Now, when I first got that ground ball, I was nervous. I was like, am I going to overthrow? Am I going to hit the target? Am I going to underthrow? Is it going to skip? So just let it fly. Boom, right to him. Nothing, like just in the glove. And so I'm like, all right, cool. I think I'm okay. Like it'll come back gradually. Yeah, not really. Because then a few more ground balls after that, I overthrew. Didn't hit anything, but I just overthrew, and it kind of just went where it wanted to go. And then next one, I underthrew. Then the next set, I threw too far to the left. Then I threw too far to the right, and then it just wasn't an overall good day in the field. And so the next day comes around, and I'm thinking maybe my batting would get me like a second chance to show them, which I couldn't find the list for what reason, because they moved it from the year before to a different spot, and I was looking in the spot that they had it in before, and I couldn't find it. So when I found out that, like, I went to the the tryout after the first cut, and not knowing, like, I didn't make the team. So like I was there like, okay, cool, like just doing everything like I was before. No one really said anything to me like, oh, you shouldn't be here. So I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna stay here and do what I do, which isn't really good. So that's what I'm gonna work on for next year. So it's happening. Senior year, I'm making the team regardless. I don't care. So I after the practice, I went up to the coach and I was like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, give me a second." So he went in, put the equipment away, came back out, and was like, "What's up?" And I was like, I couldn't find the list this afternoon, so I didn't know to just come out or just to like not come. And he was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Sean." And he was like, "I know your last name, so you don't have to say it." And I was like, "All right." And he was like, "Thank you for showing up." And I was like, "You're welcome." And he, like, I didn't know what that meant, so I told my cousin, and he said, "Well, I saw the list and I didn't see your name on there, so I didn't say anything because I thought you saw it." And I was like, "Nah." And he was like, "Well, maybe because you showed up regardless, it might show that you still, it might show the coaches you still want to play for this team after you've been cut." And I was like, "That's a good point." And so I was trying to figure out what I had to do for next year, my senior year, to make the baseball team. And I've come to the conclusion, my batting, I'm okay with. I'm pretty good at hitting the ball when it comes down to it. Fielding, I'll put it to you this way. From July till tryouts of next year, I'm working on fielding, okay? Plus the batting, that same thing every Saturday, yeah, so you already know. But fielding strictly. So that was my story, telling you guys that I didn't make the baseball team once or twice. But I'm telling you, third time, that's the charm. Because you never give up on what you love. Alright? Well, gotta go now. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.